right, up here at the top left, we have MarineKing, and sorry about that. Missed it when he was on screen the first time. And down here at the bottom right, we have DongRaeGu. Welcome to game number 4 of the Arena of Legends. Again, remember, you can go ahead and go to GOMTV.net/ticket if you want to check out our new ticketing options. You can get a all-inclusive access pass for everything of 2012 if you want. You get a premium subscription ticket. And there's also a monthly payment system now as well, which is pretty cool. Wow, so that last game, that was pretty crazy. I mean, remember, it even started off with a 2 racks rush by MarineKing, which DongRaeGu held off pretty well. Had to pull a lot of drones and what have you, but I mean, there was a ton of SCVs there. And usually, I mean, it's really hard to hold off when you have that many SCVs. DongRaeGu lost some drones, but he just defended really, really well, targeted down the SCVs. Sometimes you see players make the mistake of targeting the bunker when there's like 8 SCVs repairing it. There's no point in actually attacking that bunker until all the SCVs are dead. So he killed off the SCVs, took out the bunker, and in that situation, he wasn't too far behind, but I mean, MarineKing was able to get under orbital. He was still basically pretty good, but then MarineKing actually sent out a Marine force and got him killed, trying to do a second follow-up attack. Anyway, you guys can definitely just go back and watch that game if you wanted. I was just kind of recounting how crazy it was, even from the beginning. Drone is going to come in here and scout, and it's going to be command center first for MarineKing, by the way. If you guys didn't notice that. So DongRaeGu scouts that. He knows he's in no danger of any kind of early rush. Probably heaving a sigh of relief. Well, maybe not a huge sigh of relief. DongRaeGu is pretty good at holding off those kinds of rushes. Spots the second barracks going down, and he's going to keep that drone alive and run around in circles for as long as possible to see exactly what happens. He wants to see if more racks get planted down, if gas gets planted down, or anything like that, if possible. And that's why he's keeping the drone around. Actually, nope, never mind. He has seen everything he wants to see. I take it all back. I thought he was going to keep the drone there and continue scouting. Thank you, DongRaeGu, for making me look like a fool. Oh well, it's not difficult. Anyway, he's going to send the Overlord there and position in a spot where you can see if MarineKing takes a gas, though. So that's very smart of him. It's a beautiful spot. He can see the gas, but he's not in a spot where the SCVs can see his Overlord. Very, very cool. And we actually saw that DongRaeGu doing that before in previous games as well, so it's definitely intentional. It's not an accident. Our observer was pointing that out before. And 2 more racks going down for MarineKing, and still no gas. Of course, the funny thing is, well, not the funny thing, but an interesting thing is that MarineKing has 4 gas to choose from. He wouldn't have to take the gas near that Overlord, so it doesn't necessarily tell him too much. And, ooh, this Marine is actually going to scout around and see if there's any Overlords poking his exterior. Actually, well, maybe not. I thought that Marine was going to travel around. Let me see. Can't see. Nope, the Marine is actually just patrolling that edge of the base. For all? Okay, so never mind. Just seeing if there's an Overlord that's going to run in from that side and try and scout him. Little does he know, just to the north, there's an Overlord chilling. Curious to see what DongRaeGu is going to do with this, though. If he's going to stay on 2 base and just try and power up off 2 base, or if he's going to try and take a quick third to counter the very fast expansion of MarineKing. We have seen DongRaeGu be very aggressive in the past, of course. And there's a macro hatch in the main base, so we might actually see him. We might actually see him being aggressive here. Usually, if you're just going to be, I mean, yeah, you don't always need that macro hatch. The macro hatch also indicates he's probably going to be making lots of low-tech units like Zerglings, what have you. You know, if you're making like expensive units, then you don't really need that macro hatch to keep up production if you're not missing injects. But if you are making lots of Zerglings that are very easy to spend money on, then you need a lot of, they're kind of cheap units, then you need a lot of larvae in order to actually keep up production of those and spend all your money. So wouldn't be surprised to see him going for a lot of lower tech units. And of course, it's just handy to have that macro hatch around anyway. especially if you're fully saturated, just to make sure you can spend all your money. Probably going to see him move out and take a third base at some point, though, since he doesn't appear to be being too aggressive just yet. Starting to get out some Zerglings now, and he's going for some upgrades as well. He started +1 Carapace, and we're probably going to see him get +1 Melee in a moment. Well, no, second there. Nope, never mind. Second Evo Chamber just finished, but he's not using it. Come on, use your Evo Chamber. Anyway, point being, he can actually get a pretty quick upgrade advantage if he does start upgrading at that second Evo Chamber pretty quickly, and that would be pretty good for him to have. Maybe I was imagining, maybe I was hallucinating the second Evo Chamber on the production tab. I apologize if I did. But anyway, oh, look at this. These Zerglings are going to come in here and scout the third base. That is pretty big. He knows now that MarineKing is not going for just an all-in off these two bases. He still has to deal with his attack, though, of course, and he's producing a lot of Zerglings. The Baneling Nest is about to complete here, so he's probably going to be able to hold this off. Look at this. MarineKing checking for a third. The third is not there yet, and that is one of the reasons why DongRaeGu is not taking the third. Oh my gosh, that skin got so many creep tumors. That is almost alarming to watch, but here he comes. Banelings and Zerglings at the top of the ramp. Oh wow, that was really close. That was really close. If those Banelings had morphed a little bit earlier, I have no doubt that DongRaeGu would have surrounded that army and slaughtered it. Instead, he's going to go up this ramp here. Oh no, the Zerglings are in the way! Oh no! Bad control by DongRaeGu. He actually had his Zerglings on attack move, and there was enough of a wall there that the Banelings couldn't get past his own Zerglings to go after the Marines in the back, and so he was forced to fall back there. That was a very that was really bad for DongRaeGu there. Trying to put down some creep tumors now, and this is kind of interesting. He's got his Marines split at the top here, and here comes the Zerglings coming in, and Baneling's not even necessary here. The Marines being split means that they can't be blown up in groups by Banelings, but it means that it's easier for mass Zerglings to kill them. So, kind of the double-edged sword, I guess. That's not really a double-edged sword, is it? Well, I guess it is. Depending on. Anyway, we do have medevacs coming out now for MarineKing. Stim is almost done. So now MarineKing's really going to start powering up. I mean, he wasn't really going to go for any huge major attack without Stim anyway, although I'm a little surprised they didn't move out without force. Pre-Stim, pre-upgrades. And finally we have two upgrades going on at the same time. DongRaeGu has +1 Melee and +2 Carapace going on. And actually, in hindsight now, I think that's why DongRaeGu had not started getting that second upgrade, was because he knew that he needed all of his money to go toward units at that point in time to stop that attack that MarineKing was coming out with. He dealt with it pretty handily though, so anyway, catching this new base, he's trying to land it, but the creep is there, so he's stuff carry the creep. Oh, Zerglings get slaughtered. Half of DongRaeGu's Zerglings do not escape there. Beautiful move. He did stim all of his Marines though. And the first couple medevacs are out though, so they'll be able to heal that up. For now, they're going to spend a lot of energy doing it though. He still hasn't landed that third base. MarineKing! There's an Overlord there, by the way. There he goes. Alright. Anyway, DongRaeGu, however, has gotten his Pathogen Gland upgraded. Infestors out. That means that they have enough energy for a fungal growth when they spawn. Fungal growth being an area of effect spell that does damage over time, over 4 seconds, by the way. If you see green goop on the enemy Marines, then that's what fungal growth is. But yeah, so DongRaeGu, he knew he had the advantage there when he slaughtered that army, and so he was able to take a 4th base. Now he's even continuing to be aggressive. He's going to try and take out that 3rd. Oh, we might see infesting Terrans attack. We might see that. He of course might obviously just fungal those Marines as well, but either way he's got a big advantage. Oh, those Marines are so clumped up. Those Marines are so clumped up. Huge fungal on about a 1/3 of the Marines. More fungals on the rest of them. He doesn't have the medevacs to keep up, and every Marine dies. Oh my goodness, and he's low on Zerglings, so he needs to get out of there and cast down some infested Terrans. And he's going to go ahead and sacrifice those Terrans and a few Zerglings in order to get his infestors out of here alive. One Marine is chasing down those infestors. finally gets cleaned up by some Zerglings. Wow, so nice attack by DongRaeGu. MarineKing is now in a world of hurt. He is definitely up against the ropes. And remember, this could be the final game. If DongRaeGu finishes this game with a win, he will advance to the finals. And I gotta say, part of me is hoping that MarineKing can come back here, because even though he's in a bad spot, I don't think it's gonna be too easy for him to do it. When I heard about this tournament, I thought to myself, okay, MarineKing's in it. I really want MarineKing to get second place in that tournament, because I think that would just be fitting, because MarineKing's gotten so many seconds that to get second place in a tournament of second placers would be the most hilarious thing I could think of. Anyway, a little bit of a drop coming over here from MarineKing. Just gonna chill out by the extractor, a nice defensible position. And there's not really any drones there to kill, so he's just gonna try and be a distraction. Do what damage he can. Those Zerglings are actually doing pretty good. Wow, he actually he's got 2-1 upgrades for the Zerglings to the 1-1 upgrades of the Marines. So, of course, more upgrades are going to be finishing soon for MarineKing, but for the moment he had a little bit of an advantage there, so he was able to wipe the floor with his Marines pretty easily. Another drop going down, and why is he running his Zerglings away? Oh wait, it's because there's a massive push of tanks and Marines coming towards his front door, although he probably should have cleaned up that drop regardless. Here he comes in though, fungal growth on all the Marines, and there are no medevacs on those Marines, so they're all gonna die. Oh! He starts moving his medevacs. The medevacs get fungled as well! DongRaeGu with the epic fungals this game has been owning so much. These infestors are a little bit trapped though, and those are the same infestors, ladies and gentlemen. They have been alive the whole time, and that is why you need to kill those infestors off if possible. And now, for some reason, during all that, MarineKing didn't attack with the drop that he dropped in DongRaeGu's third, and so now he's able to go back and clean that up after all. Karen's being dropped down to try and kill the medevacs. Does he have one more fungal for the medevacs? Nope, the medevacs are just going to survive. I'm not sure why he didn't fungal there, actually. May not have had the energy for it, I suppose. Medevacs survive. The Marines actually survive as well. Wow, but now there's Ultralists to play, and in combination with those Zerglings, the tanks get cleaned up. MarineKing is not out of this yet, though. He's taken out DongRaeGu's fourth, and he's actually got a Thor load up. That's kind of interesting. Here comes the counterattack. The counterattack's going to be thwarted by a mass of Marines there. He's loaded up everything into the main base of DongRaeGu. He could easily take out all of DongRaeGu's important tech buildings right now. The Hive is in danger, but here comes the Ultralists. He needs to target those down. The infestors are there. They fungal the Marines, and the fungal Marines barely lifted up in time before they got slaughtered by the Ultras. He's gonna get those medevacs. Oh, he gets the medevacs as well. Oh, medevacs just dying. He didn't have enough of that last fungal to finish off the rest of MarineKing's army, but that was still huge. MarineKing going for a desperate attempt to kill off everything of DongRaeGu's at once by dropping in the main, and instead didn't really get anything of importance. Didn't get the Hive. Didn't get any important tech structures. And that is almost a dozen Ultralisks. That is scary indeed. Can you imagine being a Marine and you see that? I mean, just imagine you're out in an open field. You've got a suit of armor on. Yeah, it makes you a little bit taller. You got a big gun and everything like that. But then you see about a dozen giant mammoths with tusks larger than your car bearing down on you. I'd be a little scared. I'm not afraid. I'm not ashamed to admit it. He's got infestors as well, which is just disgusting. Fungals with Ultralists is just so good. Ultralists, they fold pretty quickly if they're just up against Marines, because the Marines just do so much damage. But Ultralists do a form of splash damage. They do damage to everything in front of them in a small line. So if the Marines are fungled and in place and they're clumped up, and the Ultralists can get next to them, then the Ultralist splash damage is going to finish off the last several hit points that are left when they get fungled. The medevacs won't be able to heal them in time, and they can just get absolutely slaughtered. Fungal Ultra is just so strong, and we might get a chance to see that slaughter right now. Nope, just going to lift that fourth base, play it safe. He knows he can't really engage too much. DongRaeGu's a little bit afraid to engage as well. And instead of engaging, he's going to go for a trade. MarineKing is not trading though, which is not necessarily the better idea. Fungals go up on the Marines. The medevacs are not there. The Brainlings hit all the Fungal Marines before they can heal up, and everything is dying. Fungals on everything. Giant Ultralisks barreling down and are going to slaughter everything, and taking Fungals on the medevacs. MarineKing is at 100 supply to the 170 almost of DongRaeGu. DongRaeGu is moments away from clinching a spot in the finals of the Arena of Legends, ladies and gentlemen. Here he comes in, Ultralisk killing buildings, killing SCVs. This is the swarm. Today, DongRaeGu is demonstrating to you what Zerg really is. It is masses of units. It is giant, scary monsters. It is disgusting fungal growth on everything, and it is about slaughter, and that is exactly what DongRaeGu is doing to MarineKing today. Absolutely dominating performance by DongRaeGu. Just amazing. Just absolutely amazing. MarineKing down to just 30 workers. DongRaeGu has 5 bases now. Even though he lost that 4th, he's got a couple extras. He's doing fine. MarineKing has re-landed that base, but you can't really actually mine from it. If he moves out to mine from it, then that you see on your screen right now, the Banelings and Ultralisks and Infestors will just kill it. Anything that moves out of the defensive position that he has right here. But DongRaeGu decides it is time to end it. Ultralisk taking the damage from the tank. Banelings killing everything. And it is going to be GG very soon, ladies and gentlemen. There is no way to stop this giant mass of units coming into the main base here. And look at this. I mean, they might clean up these Ultras eventually, but he's just losing so much as a result. It is just pretty much over. Wow. DongRaeGu just showing spectacular play. Absolutely spectacular. And you know what? He's going to be playing with Zira in the finals of this tournament. And DongRaeGu has a 7-1 record versus Zerg players in GSL tournaments. So he actually is a very strong ZVZ player. So Lucira, even though he's able to handily beat July Zerg, he's going to have his hands full against DongRaeGu. MarineKing still trying to hold on here. I mean, you know what? If you've got 1 base and you've got 3 orbitals, 4 orbitals, you might as well not give up, I gotta say. You know, what's one of the things about Terran is they can come back pretty easily. If you can score a good victory, then it is possible to come back. Not saying it's likely here in this situation, but you know, there's nothing for MarineKing to lose by leaving in this, by staying in this situation. Look at this, he's got burning buildings though. He's not even preparing those structures. I think those 2 barracks are kind of indicative of MarineKing's entire state of being in this game. Is he's barely still there, not really doing much, and is slowly burning down. I think that's kind of a metaphor for for MarineKing's entire gameplay of this game. Yeah, he did manage to take out the bottom left base, by the way, with a drop. So, you know, kudos to him for taking that out. But he's not going to be able to take out every base with a drop. So, not going to be easy for him to get back into this game. MarineKing, he might be hoping that he can just, you know, barely scrape together enough money for I don't think he can scrape together enough money for a maxed army. Maybe scrape together for a 150 supply army. Oh, he almost got that. Is he going to die? Oh, last fungal's going to, boom, pop that medevac with all the Marines inside it. But, well, this is actually interesting. DongRaeGu is, he's gonna fungal with 3 fungal. There he goes. I think medevacs can, hold that thought. He says, MarineKing, you made the mistake of moving out of your defended base position. I'm gonna go in and end it now. Ultras charging in, fungals on everything. The Banelings roll in to finish the deal. The tanks do kill the Banelings before they can land, though. Am I gonna have to eat my words? I was giving the victory speech for DongRaeGu, and MarineKing is actually staying in this game. He's lowered the supply deficit to only 50. But if DongRaeGu keeps attacking with not maxed armies and throwing away, you know, Ultras and Banelings onto siege tank fire, then this could be a different story. I'm not sure why he doesn't have a Spire going. Greater Spire, you know, right now. it almost had a chance of thinking about getting away. Anyway, I'm a little surprised he isn't going for Greater Spire right now, and look at that. MarineKing has 12 SCVs. He's got 12 SCVs. DongRaeGu still has over 60 of them. So, you know, the death knell is still tolling for DongRaeGu. It's not, I'm sorry, for MarineKing. And look at this, kind of a desperate attack coming up here to try and take out the extra bases of DongRaeGu. And those are 3 Marauders, so they're pretty buff. They can do a lot of damage, but there's Zerglings in your base, buddy. I think it might be time to concede. Well, MarineKing is still fighting for his life. DongRaeGu looks like he's not going to make the same mistake that he did before, and he's going to go ahead and get a large army before engaging en masse. He's like, alright, it's okay, I'll let you mine there for a little bit, but I'm not going to let you get away completely. But oh no, MarineKing is actually trapped upon the rim! The Infestor is casting tons of Infested Terrans because there's not really much to fungal, but the Infested Terrans might get, there's enough to survive to wipe that out. And there is the GG coming from MarineKing. Finally, after a long fought, hard battle, MarineKing finally concedes the game, and DongRaeGu is going to the finals, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be DongRaeGu versus Lucira in the finals. There's our final match results from earlier. Lucira taking the first 2 games. July Zerg finally accomplishing one of his rush victories in game number 3. But in game number 4, they both went for economy builds, but Lucira's was a little bit better. July's timing attack didn't work, and so Lucira's going to the finals. And there is DongRaeGu's victory. MarineKing did take the first game and looked really dominant, actually looked really scary in that first game, but DongRaeGu showed us the power of the Zerg Swarm in games 2, 3, and 4, and was able to clinch the victory there. Wow. Amazing play by DongRaeGu. So there's your final, ladies and gentlemen. Lucira versus DongRaeGu. It's going to be tomorrow. You do not want to miss it. It's going to be awesome. Both these guys have really good Zerg versus Zerg play. I'm really curious to see what DongRaeGu can do. Most of his ZVZs have been in Code A and in GSTL. So I'm not sure how he's going to fare. I don't think he's played a big best of series in any GSL tournament versus another Zerg player that I can recall. Maybe in Code as group play or something like that. I'll have to look it up. But anyway, really curious to see what DongRaeGu can bring to the table against the teammate of Nesty. Nesty, the best Zerg versus Zerg ever. So we're going to find out tomorrow. That's going to do it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed the semifinals. The finals tomorrow are going to be epic. Don't miss it. The King of Kong's Arena of Legends tournament final is tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel, 6:10 p.m. Korean Standard Time. I'll see you there.